What's up, guys? How's everyone doing today? It is Wednesday morning, 6:29 a.m., my first live stream of the day. Hopefully everyone's doing well. It is fight day. Let's go. Let's get hype. We got fights today. We got the 50th year anniversary of the Thrilla in Manila. There's a card going down in the Philippines today commemorating that iconic fight. Muhammad Ali's grandson, Nico Ali Walsh, is on that card. This is a Manny Pacquiao Promotions, MP Promotions, and we have covered on the channel the main events on this card, Melvin Jerusalem versus Siyakholwa Kuse. These odds have gone crazy in the last 24 hours. If you haven't seen my breakdown, prediction, and analysis on the channel, my Stats Don't Lie video, in which I give you my prediction and my reasoning behind why I'm putting money on said fighter, go to my playlist, fight predictions, and watch it. These videos are professionally shot. They're not live streamed. Professionally shot, professionally edited. I get to kind of use I filmed a couple documentaries. I learned how to shoot film maybe 10 years ago. So I get to use my editing software, and they take about 5 to 6 hours. They're only about 10 minutes. So if you're just watching my live streams and you want to know a little bit more in detail why I pick who I pick, watch those videos. Now, last night when I went to bed, Melvin Jerusalem was $1.18 on the money line, and now he's $1.10. What's that tell you? That tells you a lot of money. You know, money has come on Jerusalem, and Kuse is a 7-1 dog. On the money line, I gave you guys Jerusalem. Now, my prop of the week is actually this fight as well. Based off of what I've seen on tape, where I'm going with my prop of the week. Now, this prop includes the fights tonight. This prop includes Friday night's fights in Canada. This prop includes the fights in the UK. So I'm rolling with this. Jerusalem to stop Kuse, 100 gets your money back, plus 215. So a little bit over 2-1. I like it. You know, when I give you guys these props, I think by now a lot of the boys, as you see in the chat with the blue stars by their name, they know what I'm about to say. But the channel's growing, so I don't ever want to assume that maybe there's somebody on the live stream right now that it's their first time. When I'm telling you these props, when I'm telling you where I'm putting my money, I'm not telling you to follow me. I don't want you to think that I'm coming from that perspective. I know that there's people online, content creators, who scream at you, who scream at the screen and tell you that they're the best. They know everything. They have a DeLorean and they're able to time travel and tell you who's going to win. That's not me. I'm just telling you who I'm putting my money on. You don't have to listen. As the boys are checking in, DJ Grizzle, what's up, Playboy? What's up, guys? We're getting close. I love a fight, guys. It's a midweek fight night. Love it. King Fitness, where'd he go? Where's the King? Y'all asked for the Kings? Well, Charlotte, the Kings is here. That's us, 4 and 5. We live by a different creed. We hope. Some people hope things don't go wrong. We wish a motherfucker would be in our shit. Well, Charlotte, the Kings is here. Johnny, what do you think about Buatsi Parker and Ray Arthur? We're going to get into the nitty gritty. Off jump, man, I like Buatsi. And my upset of the week, here's my upset of the week. Might as well get into it, King. Might as well get into it. You know, that's that old school, not when all the words just blend into one, not might as well, might as well get into it, boy. Might as well get into it. Here's my upset of the week. I experimented and flirted with the idea yesterday. I did some tape. I've watched these guys I've watched more Lyndon Arthur than I have Bradley Ray. We covered Bradley Ray on the channel a couple months ago when he fought Shaquan Pitters. He fought Shaquan Pitters life and death. Pitters is 36 years old. Bradley Ray was a big favorite. We won money on Bradley Ray, but I was sweating those scorecards. We last saw Lyndon Arthur in the trilogy fight he fought at part of that massive card against his rival, and he started off, you know, like I said yesterday, he started off. I had him up 4-1 after 5 rounds, and then you could say what you will. Maybe he faded. The thing in the third fight against Anthony Yard, and Anthony Yard has Benavidez now, and now Lyndon Arthur's trying to get back on track with Bradley Ray. The thing with Lyndon Arthur, what I want to see some adjustments going into this fight is I want to see him still keep that aggressive style early on. I want to see him get out on front. Don't be so passive throughout the entire fight, and learn to kind of disperse the output, disperse the energy throughout an entire fight. I like Lyndon Arthur's physicality. I like his body work. There's nothing in Bradley Ray's resume that I like. And so my upset of the week is Lyndon Arthur. So I'm going to be posting that. I'm going to do a members only video today. And to answer your question, King, that's who I like. I like Arthur. Bum Equipment, my guy. What's up, Bum? Guys, if you want to get into the Discord, as you see all the Discordians, click the link. The link is pinned in the comment section. Couple bucks a month. Let's get this, boy. I do. Don't lie. We all degenerates in here. Sticks and stones may break your bones, but names will never hurt you. Call it what you will, baby. You can't spell degenerate without spelling nerd. I just came up with that because I'm a nerd. But Adu, you can't spell degenerate without spelling nerd. And I look at myself as a nerd, so you can call me what you will. Okay, I got a lot of messages about this fight. I got a lot of messages about Marcio, and I'll pull it up for you boys, DJ. So what we'll first do is look at the odds. Then we will bring up the box rec. Then I might bring up a couple messages because people have been getting emotional about this fight. This was not on my bingo card this week. If I was asked, Johnny, pick one fight that you're going to get messaged about, and people are going to hear your perspective on a live stream and then argue with you about it. So this is actually the fight. Actually, there's two. There's the Wilkins Matthew fight versus Shaquille Finn. That's a controversial fight, which I didn't expect it to be. And that this is from in my world, the messages I've been getting. And then there's a lot of there's some sneaky good fights, boys. Okay, you know why? This Marcio fight is on Bet365. So I'm going to have to change screens here for you so I can talk about it. If you guys are in Australia, Sportsbet isn't showing that Marcio fight. Here it is. It's the first one, boys. Okay. So this is Umar Marcio versus Eddie Colmenares. Now, I on my long parlay have Marcio on here. Now, the $1.30 3 days ago when I gave you guys the long parlay was $1.15. There is money coming on Eddie Colmenares. I'm going to tell you why. I strictly feel. Do you guys remember just last week? I know you remember. You guys are savages like myself. Do you remember all the money that was coming in on Malik Montgomery against Joshua Pagan? And I said, and this holds true. I think that there are patterns that we could pick up on as boxing nerds or degens, like Adu says, over long periods of time that you could kind of be like, this is that. Oh, this is that. These odds are akin to what we saw with Malik Montgomery versus Joshua Pagan when all that money was coming in on Malik Montgomery. Why? Because Malik Montgomery had a 90% knockout to win ratio. Now, when you look at Eddie Colmenares, I think he might have a 100% knockout to win ratio, but you got to look deeper than that. You got to look deeper than that. And here's what I'm going to tell you. And I'm pretty sure, is he Filipino? Because Eddie Colmenares. No, he's Venezuelan. My bad. The reason why I thought he was Filipino is because the shade I've been getting. I tell you guys all the time, I get more shade from my Filipino followers than I do any other subsect of people from whatever part of the world. The minute the Filipino followers saw that I picked Kameda to beat Casemiro, boy, I was getting attacked. I was getting attacked. Eddie Colmenares this week, I've been getting attacked too. You look at the record, 11-2 with 11 knockouts, 100% knockout to win ratio, and you're like, holy shit, dude, I got my guy. This is the dude. 100% knockout to win ratio. This is the dude. Let me show you why he's not that dude. And this is why you can't just follow that stat. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Look at who he's fought. Boo 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 boo. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba ba. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba ba ba. So what I'm saying is, watch your tape. You can see a guy, you know, he acts like he's a knockout. He is. He's knocked everyone out. Now, if we're gonna play that game, we have to play the other side. There's two sides to every coin. Notice the only 6 fights with 4 knockouts. You got to understand who this kid is. This is a Filipino. Ba 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 ba. Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. 26 knockouts in the amateurs is crazy work. That's all. You never see this. 26 knockouts in the AMI. Now I know it's just an AMI record, but I'm just saying that this 6-0 record is not like a Fabio Wardley who had 0 amateur career. This kid, Umir Marcial, you know, it could be said even in a short amount of pro fights, he's fought tougher opponents. You know, he's fought in Vegas multiple times. He's had featured fights. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's what I wanted to talk about, and I'm not going to spend too much time on that fight, but that's why I think the money has come in on Colmenares, and that's why I think people were pushing back because they see that 100% knockout to win ratio. King of Fitness, the Kings. Appreciate the super chat. Guys, however you could help the channel grow, however you could assist me, whether it's King of Fitness super chat, whether it's liking this video, whether it's subscribing, whether it's commenting, whether it's joining our VIP Discord, which is popping. Guys, on the Discord yesterday, I put, you know, put my feet up for the first time yesterday. I had a 4 p.m. powerlifting session down here at my private gym, and it's like 5, you know, I get back up here, shower, make something. It's 5:30 p.m. my time. I put my feet up. I was like, let me pop into the Discord. I usually only use the Discord for boxing, MMA. I never popped into the NHL, never looked at NBA. I just use NFL, MMA, and boxing. I looked in the NBA. These boys are hitting like 40-1. Everyone's eating. There's confetti falling. Breaking Bad boxing's hitting like, you know, 40-1, like sneaky props. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't know this was going down in the Discord. I shared it on my story. Marcial's nice. A lot of 0 wins I see. DJ, bum nah, bro. FanDuel. S6. If he got dropped multiple times by Hart, then what's the thought process that Kalmanars isn't a hard puncher than Hart? Did you even watch Umar versus Hart? Yeah, so this is the fight. This is a fight that people are bringing up. Okay, Isaiah Hart, second pro fight. Marcial got dropped 3 times. No, fair point. Fair point. We have to address it. We have to address it. Okay. I mean, so he got dropped 3 times. Did he win or lose the fight? He won the fight. Second pro fight. I mean, call it for what you will. If you want, guys, and Essex brings up a good point. Watch this fight. Second pro fight. This guy, and this is my pushback on this. So after these pop-ups are freaking insane. Okay. So he hasn't won a fight. You know, he lost one, but up until he loses to Hogan. Up until that Marcial, it was Marcial. Marcial was 1-0, right? He had almost 100 amateur fights. He goes from an amateur to a pro. They give him Hart. Hart at the time was what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 1-1, and then 6, 1-1, 7, 1-1. 7-2-1. He fights him at 7-2-1. You know, is that enough for you to put the money on on the underdog? It's not enough for me. I think Umir Marcial's nice. I think he got game. I gotta be honest with you. I like him. I think he got game. I think he's a good boxer. Uh oh, there we go. And he gets shut out of BoxRec after 2 clicks. So I guess we're using Tapology from here on out. But to answer your question, Essex, there's nothing in Eddie Colmenares' game. I mean, he's a bigger dude. I'd be shocked if he beats Marcial. I like Marcial's game. Marcial could crack Birslanov. This is a fun fight. People, it seems to me, are unaware of who Birslanov is. You know what I'm saying? The dude, he's ranked number 7 in the world out of all the savages. Out of all the savages at 140 pounds. Now, make what you will about BoxRec's algorithm. He's in front of Gary Antoine Russell, Birslanov, and Lipnitz is what, 36, 37 now. I actually love this pick. I'm not even lying. I actually like that pick a lot. Yeah, so he's talking about Marcial's amateur pedigree. GMS put on the elect. Peace, Johnny. Yelvis Gomez and Antre. See, okay, so let me address this fight real quick. And so I'm going to say about this question that I said yesterday, and then moving forward, I know GMS came on, I've been seeing you on the live stream maybe a month or so, and no, I have a good memory. I think I have a good memory. Maybe like 2 months. I've seen you, just commenting. Now, for me, the way I work mentally, how I'll write notes down first. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll write the fights down the fight week, okay? And you can't see my dry erase board, but I have a dry erase board there too. So I have fight week written down, right? And then to this week we have Wednesday fights, Friday fights, Saturday fights, Sunday fights. I can't really sell out my energy until I get the Wednesday fights out of here. I've been seeing these odds and people have been asking me about it. But and it's an interesting fight. So I can't sit here right now and tell you that I've done enough work for me to give you my prediction, just because this is, Gomez versus Ingram is the last fight of our weekend. But look at these odds, and don't sleep on Antravis, and Yoelvis, Yevi. I've heard it pronounced like 3-4 different names. YG, Gomez. It's going to be an interesting fight. I want to do more due diligence. I want to do more film study before I give you a proper breakdown. Guys, wherever you are, we are 20 minutes in. Let's like this video. Let's subscribe. Let's get into the Discord. Click that link. King of Fitness next week, Ortiz Lubin. And that Ortiz Lubin card almost gives me anxiety, because it's like we got this week and then we got Ortiz Lubin. And then not too long after that, we got Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. And the Discord, cats are getting into fights right now in the Discord over Haney and BNJ. Even his first pro fight I watched yesterday, he was going head-to-head, slugging and trading shots for no reason. That's, Manny, is that a skill thing or is that a fight IQ thing? You know what I'm saying? A lot of times these really hyped up amateurs who've had a lot of success in their careers, who could punch, when they enter the pro game, they have a chip on their shoulder. They want to prove something. So you got to think that there'll be adjustments made in Marcial's game. And he is going in there with a guy with a 100% knockout to win ratio. I don't really expect him to be guns a-blazing. I expect a stoppage though. Lipnitz started to fade more and more and more. Yeah, he might get stopped. He had he was at one time Sergey Lipnitz, the casual, They knew him as the only world champion that they knew him as the only world champion that was on Boots's resume. So like there wasn't that long ago if you asked a cat like the average boxing fan from Philly, no shade on Philly, I'm just messing. But you know what I'm saying? When people heard the name Lipnitz, they knew him because oh, that's the one champion Boots beat. Obviously the list is growing now. Amanis Staniones, he was a form, you know, he won the belt from him at 47. So I want to look at you guys brought up. Let's talk about this fight. You know what? I'm gonna take the ball here real quick. I want to talk about this fight real quick. Wilkins. I want to hear the chat's opinion on this fight. Wilkins versus Finn. I'm just gonna pin this. All right, and we're gonna pull up. Have you guys taped this? Where do you guys stand here? Have you guys done your work on this fight, Wilkins versus Finn? Because this is another one that if you're doing tape, there's going to be things about. I woke up this morning to a message on Discord from Unknown. Actually, that's the screen name. So shout out to Unknown. I know some of the boys. You know, I should make it mandatory for you guys to use your same name in Discord that you use on YouTube. Anybody on the chat who knows how I could do that, I appreciate it. All the Discord boys, how can I get everybody in the Discord to make their name in the Discord the name on YouTube? Anyway, Unknown sends me a message. He asks me about Wilkins Matthew versus Shaquille Finn. I guess I want to just play my response for you guys then. It'll just be easier. So here's my take on Wilkins versus Finn. What's up, buddy? I haven't been able to upload anything on Wilkins and Finn, but I have taped it and I have an opinion. Look, people are really they like the draw. I'm sure you know. I'm sure you've done your due diligence with Finn and his fight with Boznian. I kind of rate Boznian. He battled Malia pretty decently, but how much credence do you want to put into that? You know what I'm saying? Wilkins is the young prospect. I like his feet. I like his lead hook. I like the energy. I don't think that his handlers are wrong with them thinking that he's next in line. He could crack. Is the sprinkle worth Finn? I mean, maybe behind the scenes, you know, but on a public space when people are asking me, I like the prospect here. 3-1 does seem pretty right with the odds currently. But like I said, man, we've been in this game a long time. The veteran Finn is a dog. He's tough, he's gritty, he's resilient, he's a true vet. So yeah, that's where I stand right now. So yeah, the handlers, you know, Wilkin Matthew, they think his people think he's the next in line. Watch his tape. Young, 20, 21 years old. Like I said, everything you heard I said, I mean, it's what I saw on his tape. His feet, I like his lead hook. He could punch, you know, he has good punch selection. I like his lead hook. Finn is a dog though. You know, how much credence do you put in the Boznian fight? He fought what look, I'm not going to sit here and say I knew every fight about Boznian before the Munguia fight, but I remember being at a family. I was at my girlfriend's family's house. It was like it might have been like May, maybe a year and a half ago, watching the Boznian Munguia fight on my phone, and I was like, damn, I was impressed with how Boznian fought him. I was impressed with Boznian's tools. How he had a bigger arsenal than I thought he was going to have. He was more crafty than I thought he was going to be. And so Finn fought Boznian to a draw. It just depends on your own mindset on how you put that in. Well, he did this so he could do that, and if he did that to this guy and this dude's not ready for this guy, it's not the safest or most logical way to bet. But when you watch enough tape, you tend to just ask yourself that. I think it's a close fight, though. I think it's a close fight. And this is going to be another one of these fights, I think, in the next 48 hours. Money will come in on Shaquille Finn. But what is Finn now? 35? 36? Wow. He hasn't fought. Is that real? I swear Boxrec has this mixed up. So he hasn't fought since the Bosnian draw. That was his last fight. That was May 2024. Almost, 18 months. Loses to Tricks. Has a draw against Bettercine. Not a lot of guys that are jumping out off the paper that you guys have known. I like Wilkins so far. Finn, solid basic fire. They'll give the. I think so too. I think that what Shawnee Shine is talking here. I think this is exactly what this matchup is. Now, can Finn prove us wrong? Yeah, it's boxing. When you look at step up fights, sort of how the handlers are handling Wilkins. I like that this isn't an easy fight for him. But if you think you have a young 20, 21-year-old guy that could be a champion, you want him in these sort of fights. You want to find out now rather than later. You don't ever want to have a guy that, gets found out in a world title fight. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. See what so this is exactly what I thought. Did you guys see this so you know I'm not tripping? Maybe this is his wiki. I knew he had a fight, so somebody just didn't update his wiki. That's all. You would think there'd be an algorithm connected to BoxRec, Tapology, with a fighter's name, to where one thing gets updated, they all get up, especially on things like fights. Okay, so this is Finn. I mean, the dude's a real pro. Never been stopped. 27-3, 2 draws, 17 stoppages, and yeah, I knew we were right. I think the reason why that Galavar fight wasn't showing, it just has to be one of these things that Wikipedia is updated by the public, and they just missed it. So he did fight in January. Facundo Galavar, 15-12-2. Let's click on Matthew real quick. Yeah, he's 20 years old. So like I said, and I'm going to go back to this point. I like this matchup by Matthew's handlers. They think he's that dude. You got to have these fights. You got to have these fights now. At super middleweight as well, 168 pounds. I mean, it's not the deepest division. You have it's not really top heavy when you get past what? You know, Box Trek be tripping. So here, top 15. Bud, Canelo, Hamza, Maul, Iglesias, and Billy, Munguia, Pacheco. You still got Lester at 11, and most people, Lester versus Billy fought to a draw. Pacheco's at 8, Sajo's at 9, Jacob Banks at 13. People sleep on Beck Nurmagomedov. Berlanga's still in the top 20. Dude, this might be controversial, but even at this stage of his career, I would still take Sergey Derevyanchenko over a lot of these dudes, which is insane. Sergey Derevyanchenko might be 58 years old. Sergey Derevyanchenko is 152 years old, and I would still take him over a lot of those guys I just said. This dude right here, mate, nobody's putting their hand up to fight this dude. Not who would want to fight this guy? Never been stopped, always in dog fights. You gotta look at his physique, 5'9", dude. Ukrainian, could crack. He has a fire extinguisher head, got a chin on him. Like nobody wants. I would still take Derevyanchenko against a lot of these dudes. I mean, we would never see those fights. Like, part of me, like, if I was running boxing, I'd be like, let's cash Derevyanchenko out. Let's create a super middleweight tournament of the top 20 fighters, and let's pair Derevyanchenko with like the dudes who they think are killers, and let's see what time it is. He's just I used to love watching him fight, man. I wish we got to see him a little bit more. 22 pro fights. It's a shame and I guess with that fight style, you can't really expect Derevyanchenko to have 40 pro fights. Breaking Bad, what's up, Playboy? What's up, boy? Okay, so we got Rambler. Guys like Dave Allen, Liam Cameron, they will always go back to their degenerate ways no matter how much money they make. It's like an inevitable cycle. Well, I think we all at one time or another will struggle with addiction. Addiction's a real thing, Rambler. And so degenerate ways sometimes could be written off as comical. Earlier in the chat, the word degenerate was used for gambling. But when we start talking about substance abuse, drugs, alcohol, mental health, which, gambling's an addiction as well. But in relation to fighters, you're right. It's tough. It's a tough ask. And as guys who bet on the sport, it's something you have to ask yourself. Let's pull up Liam Cameron, because you guys have been asking me about this fight too. And is it controversial to say that I think that Liam Cameron Ben Whittaker's second fight was stopped early? What is up, dude? You know what? I'm this close from adding UK fights to my no bet list. This Rambler, I didn't know this thing would trigger me in such a way, but I am so close to adding UK fights to no bet lists. Think about what happened with Lewis Crocker and Donovan, that decision. Think about what happened with Fabio Wardley, Justice Hooney, that count. Obviously with Parker, I'm not saying any of these should have ended differently. Liam Cameron, Ben Whittaker too. Dude, the list is pretty heavy of fights that are kind of like, oh, that's just how they do it in the UK. Or that's just because this was in the UK. Well, bitch, it ain't. My bank account doesn't hear that. My bank account just sees deduct. Nah, homie, no money. Deduct. So I'm about to categorize the UK the same way I categorize white French fighters or Olympians with under 10 fights. And somebody's going to pull it up. They're going to be like, Johnny, dude, what are you talking about? You just said that you like Marcial. He has 10 pro. He has 6 pro fights. You know my point. Where are you? Right here. Okay, boys. Troy Jones, Liam Cameron. Guys, is this a fight we're betting on? Is this a stay away fight? Are we avoiding this fight? Put a 1 in the chat if you're going to bet on this fight, but a dude to avoid. We're floating between 30 and 50. Could you like this video? Everybody who's watching this right now, and if you're catching this on the upload, at this segment of the show, put a 1 in the chat. I don't care if you're going to, just put a 1 if you're going to bet on Cameron Jones, and put a 2 to not bet on Cameron Jones. And now, if you put the 1 that you're going to bet on this fight, who are you taking? Kuse, Liam Cameron, a good guy. They done him dirty. He would have won the first fight, and Ben Royal rumbled himself over the top rope, sent some bullshit. Kuse, you ain't never lied. Did 4.3 hours on tape on. Of course, I'm getting. Yeah, play it because you a savage. He's like, nah, homie. Nah, big player. We betting on this fight, boy. Have you guys ever taped on Breaking Bad's comment here? For all the boys who tape and put content out there like myself, how salty is it when you do the 4.5, 5.5 hours of tape work, you film, you edit, you upload, and then you get news from a tweet, the fight's canceled. And you're like, oh. Has that happened to you, Nick? It happened to me. It's only happened twice in the last since January, but it's a salty feeling because it's like, and then you're like, do I delete it? Nah, I'm keeping it up. I've had two stats don't lie videos that this has happened where I put all the effort in, upload, and then like 24 hours, somebody gets rushed to the hospital, fights off. Oh, the Shakur Stevenson Kid Schofield was one of them. All right, the boy. Okay, so we're betting on it. All right, Nick, do you want to come on and sell me on this? Nick, I got about 20 minutes. Do you want to come on right now and tell me what you see in Cameron versus Jones? If you want to come on, the link is in the Discord because I want to hear what you see in this fight. Kuse, I was taping dudes. Yeah. Oh, guys. This was Bibiano. I was so salty. Guys, even though we hit, like we did really well. We did really well in Kyrgyzstan, but I was still salty because that fight got dusted. All good, Nick. Yeah, cool. I'll be live again in about 5 hours. So that's all gravy. Kiza is used to winning his bets when he says he got robbed on a fight that never happened, but he did his work and he knows what the outcome was going to be. That's a confident man right there. He says he got robbed on my +6. We were all salty, man. We were all salty. Shawnee, shine down. I kind of like Liam in this fight if he can keep his gas tank together. Okay. Let's pull up some Liam, Cameron. We'll pull up some. I'll pull up some highlights real quick. Man, I just look at those eyes though, boy. And that lineup. Look at his mape up. So when I was coming up in Youngstown, we would call that getting maped up. Look at that. That lineup to me is suspect enough, boy. Look at that lineup. I'm just clowning. Them eyes, boy. Them eyes tell a story, boy. Those are dark eyes. Those are like sleepless nights. You was out on the streets prowling. You was out there hunting, trying to find a bag late. Gee, he's seen some shit too, boy. So these are guys that they're kind of tough to bet against. You got to beat. That's why I was kind of salty that they stopped that second Cameron Whitaker fight.
Yourself earlier. So it's going to be 2 years in January. One.
I got to mute that because last time if you heard that instrumental in the background, YouTube will try to copyright me on the hush.
Damn, that was good. Got quality. A shot. Yeah, he pushed Linden to a split, but I'm not Linden. The cables in on the arms, and then always really brought that dugout in me. If he wants to bring it out and get hurt, a mouthpiece comes out. Sneaky on shot like that. He needs to watch for that big. He has hit. Big nose to hit. To find it with if you're good at eating shots. If you come as you say you're gonna come, you're just gonna end up as a name, man. He shakes his own head there, as if to say, "I cannot continue."
See, my thing is, guys, is I'm sure you guys have your own systems of betting. I lost money on Cameron the second time, so I don't know if he looked, dude. That version of him against Ben Whitaker the first time, he impressed a lot of people. I think he was a 5-1 dog. I took him. I took him in that first one, but it didn't pay out because it ended ended in a draw, right? But the outcome was bullshit. Is this new? This is him now? This is insane. Is that Liam Cameron?
grand with a lot of money.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. All right.
Lad didn't know what money were.
Did he move to Kazakhstan?
Yeah, so
It looks like he's a Dagestani grappler now. What did I miss? Did he go to Dagestan and am I missing something? He was bro. You know the craziest thing about that story I told you guys? If yesterday on my second live stream, I'm about to gross you guys out. Yesterday on my second live stream, I told the story about my boy Aaron, who lived in Vegas with me, and he would, he was the type of good looking dude that could go to the nightclubs and pull a 10, but he was comfortable pulling ones and twos. He called me yesterday. I haven't talked to him in years. He called me and we got on a video chat. So he calls me yesterday. Look at his goddamn finger. This is the type of shit he'd get me into. That's Aaron. This is nightmare fuel. He was like, "Do you want to see a video of it?" I was like, "Hell no!" I was like, "I will block you if you send me a video of it." Jerusalem fights in about, guys, it's 7 a.m. here. Wednesday, Jerusalem fights in about 17 hours. So my sports bet, I'll show you. So to answer your question, he hasn't fought yet. So Jerusalem fights at 9:30 Australia time. So right here. So 9:30, it's pretty much 7, it's almost 7, it's in about 14 hours. Liam Metherbiev. That is hilarious. Metherbiev. That's pretty funny, mate. He's I do. Pat Brown fighting again this week. I must watch. Yeah. This is another guy. Let's pull up the odds real quick, Pat Brown. There's a lot of fights, guys. We should do. I might do a sneaky obscure parlay. It's about, man. I want to hit, dude. You know what? I'm making a promise to you guys right now. I'm hitting a method of victory parlay. Dude. The last 3 weeks, I got greedy on the method of victories, and I've hit two. Like one didn't come in. 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. So what I'm doing this weekend, I'm shortening it to just 2. I am going to hit a 2-leg method of victory parlay. It's bumming. Those are my favorite ones to hit because those are like, you get a little swaggy. You're like, yeah, dude, I called the knockout, homie. I told you it was going to points, Playboy. Like those are the ones when they come through, you're like, you're stoked about it. Pat Brown. Ooh, what are we talking about here, boys? Felix Valera. This is his amateur record, Pat Brown. This is his pro record. It's weird sometimes BoxRec prompts the AMI record first. This is for all the content creators. Have you guys ever made this mistake when you're making your content? You're new to the game, you're getting used to BoxRec's algorithm, and you post BoxRec's record, but it's an amateur record, and you didn't realize that they sometimes prompt. Like, I guarantee there's somebody out there who's getting into the content creation game, and they probably are reading this one because they have to. You got to learn from that mistake. You got to learn that it's not always prompting you for that pro record. That happened to me. This happened to me a while ago. You know what I did? I didn't delete the video. I did an asterisk in the comment section. I go, my bad, BoxRec. I put his amateur record instead of his pro record. So he's fighting Felix 24. Okay, guys, 4 pro fights. See, is this falling in the category of the Badr Ghazi of Dickens realm? Is this falling in the category of Frankie Rod versus Galal Yafai? Should we be on upset alert? Look at this cat, boy. 24-8, 21 knockouts from the DR too. 36. If he's saying he's 37, Felix might be 58. No shade. If he's saying he's 37, he might be 58, 59. Oh, we just watched him fight Tristan Kalkruth. Didn't they go life and death? Or is that the one he knocked out? There we go. There we go. Mm. You could just look at Felix's dome. He got that head that like there's like residual scar tissue. Wasn't he better than we thought he was going to be, guys? My box rec is acting sus. Did Kalkruth stop him or did he go life and death? I trust you, Kiza. Been watching Pat since amateurs. He's gonna have some exciting pro fights. He's a banger. So it doesn't. Let's go back to the odds then. These odds. Isn't this suspicious? These odds aren't suspicious to anybody. Been watching Pat. Good morning, UMG in the house. What's up, UMG? Okay, it was a decision. Okay, this is so when Kalkruth fought Valera. Did this fight happen? Did we watch so many goddamn fights? I know that some of the boys had Kalkruth by stoppage. I didn't bet on Kalkruth. I don't like what I see right now in Tristan Kalkruth. He kind of like his balance to me is off. He's kind of like I think they try to like pair him next to Kiki. Sometimes people when they're talking about young American heavyweight prospects, they're real quick to say Tristan Kalkruth is up there. I mean, big, he potential, but Pat Brown being an 8-1 favorite against Valera is insane. I remember Pat's fights. I don't think not Pat DJ. Felix versus Kalkruth. Was the Muscles? No, he never messaged me. Muscles. PJ changes it. PJ in the chat moonlights his muscles sometimes, but an official muscle statement. We haven't got an official statement. He's been posting some funny stuff online though. I'm gonna just leave it at that. My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it. I ain't one to gossip. You ain't hear that from me. 4 fights versus that dude with over 30. We have seen this a lot. Guys, this should make everybody uncomfortable. I mean this. This comment by Eligos should make everyone uncomfortable who's picking Pat Brown. I'm not saying Valera's going to beat Pat Brown, but dog, 32 pro fights against a bloke with 4. This cat. This cat. They just think he's the dude. What do you? I don't know. Like adult, like $9 on 100 is not worth it to take Pat Brown in this fight. If anything, 4-0. I mean, up and that joint is frozen. I'll just talk to you boys here. Like the odds here are just a bit too insane. What, $100 on Pat Brown with 4 pro fights gets you your money back plus $9? Are people really bet? Are you guys really betting on this fight? I'm interested. Adu, I'm going heavy on a parlay with Pat Brown. Pat Brown's a real deal. He's only $1.09. So are you picking him to win by stoppage? What's the value though in adding him on a parlay when he's only getting you $9 on $100 bet, and he's fighting a guy with 32 pro fights with an 80% knockout to win ratio who's an 8-1 dog. I don't think it's worth it either in terms of risk versus reward. I'd rather not play it. You know what I'm saying? We've seen this, we've been burned on this before. And so yeah. Guys, I'm gonna stay on for 10 minutes. Anybody want to come in the chat? Let me know. Any of the Discordians? I put the link up in the Discord. We're a couple weeks ago we started the live call-in. We started the live call-in feature. Yeah, he did lose to Calcruth, but Tristan Calcruth, I mean, he went life and death with him. It wasn't Calcruth. Everybody took Calcruth to win by knockout. And Calcruth, I mean, he was getting stung. We watched that fight. You got a big old knockout artist from the DR who says he's 37. He might be 58. 8-1 dog. I don't know, man. That's a tough one for me. Damn, dude, BoxRec just froze my whole side computer. This joint. Luckily, we're already almost done here. I'm not going to be able to bring up, I'm not going to be able to bring up another screen because my laptop's frozen. Billy Dennis versus Aaron Yeka. I got this dog from Valera at plus 450. What Eligos, what site is that on? What betting app are you using to get that fight? Billy Dennis versus Ezra Renyeka. I'm pulling up Bet365 real quick. Shout out to all the OGs, by the way, on the channel, because I've only been using the streaming software for about 3 weeks, and it allows us to stay organized. You guys have been, how did you guys manage watching my live streams before, which was chaos? My live streams before, it was just my big ass head. You didn't get to see any screens. It was just me talking. This makes it so much better. Bovada, we don't get Bovada in Australia. Oh, you're saying it should appear on the Aussie betting app soon. I'll keep an eye open. UMG, Valera has good experience against bro, UMG, you feel me? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean. So it's kind of like, if I'm like, my logic on this Pat Brown versus Valera fight, because the odds are so insane and all the aforementioned points about experience, I'd rather not touch this fight if I'm taking Pat Brown. And the flip side of that is $25 on Valera on the money line gets you over 200. That's all I'm saying. You think Ezra got the tools to beat Dennis? I'm trying to see these odds real quick before I could comment. That's an interesting matchup. I want to see where the bettors have this marked. Yeah, I'm not getting it. I generally don't like to comment on fights that I don't see the odds. Only because I use the odds as a gauge of my narrative, of where I could start, my starting point. So unless I see it, I'm not going to tape it. But I put it in my notes. Shout out to, was it Eligos? Shout out to Eligos who put me on the game on that fight. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Any other fights? Any other questions? I'm going to go over. So I'm going to go live again in about 5 hours. Remember, we got 2 fights showing tonight in the Philippines. Marcial versus Colmenares, Jerusalem versus Kuse. So if you guys have Bet365, my prop of the week, I already got action on it, is Jerusalem by stoppage at $3. And then I gave you guys my long parlay. I do that money line parlay, and that's up on YouTube. That's public. The uh, the long parlay is public. So if you didn't see it, go to the YouTube channel. It's posted for everyone to see. All the JSB insiders, I gave you guys members only short of a prediction. I'm doing another members only short after this video. So guys, that's another benefit of joining the Discord. It's literally, what is $5 a month divided by 30? It's like we could do like starving. Anyway, it's a couple bucks a month. Other than members only videos and more access to myself, you get to go to the you get access to the Discord. I missed the Melvin talk. Watch my breakdown. I put the video up, Sean, on the Stats Don't Lie video up is up right now. I tell you why Melvin. I give you the path to victory. I talk about both fighters. I tell you why I like Jerusalem. I don't think so. I don't think there's a. I don't think there's a. I don't think there's an upset in hand, guys. You look at this card. This is a Manny Pacquiao card. MP Promotions. It's the 50th anniversary of the Thrilla in Manila. Melvin Jerusalem, Filipino fighter, world champion, 31-year-old. This is for the minimum weight world title. Neither guy has a perfect record. Jerusalem fighting a guy in Kuse who's 22 years old. He's a southpaw. Kuse's nickname by his fans, they call him One Way, signifying and sort of homage to his style. Straightforward. He has a few losses. Now, his opponent's strength of schedule hasn't really, this is by far his biggest step up. The only time Jerusalem has been stopped, he was going round for round. On the scorecards, it was an even fight against Oscar Cayazzo, and then he couldn't continue in the seventh a few fights ago. We know, he fought a couple times against Shigoka, one of the Shigoka brothers. Shigioka. And, won a very close split decision. I use this in my breakdown. I feel that there are a lot of lessons to be learned about a fighter during rematches based off of how they perform in both fights. Now, this is one of those rematches against Shigioka where he won both fights. But in the first fight, it was a close split decision. Could have gone either way. Very close fight. When they fought again, he won almost every round. I reference that in my breakdown because that signifies adjustments, fight IQ, and leveling up. At 31, this is the best version of Melvin Jerusalem, and it's a world champion version. And this card was built around him. He is the main event. Mix that with in his skill set, his offensive arsenal, orthodox fighter, good feints, good movement, good speed. I like him. What he does a lot is he pulls out his opponent's backhand, especially because Kuse is a southpaw. I think that's going to be the punch late in the fight that's going to end the fight. So I got Jerusalem on the money line on a long parlay, and my prop of the week is Jerusalem by stoppage. We'll see if this comes to fruition. That's where my money's at. That's as transparent as I could get. If you want to watch that breakdown, Stats Don't Lie on the fight prediction video, I'm going to wrap this up right now.